Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Way Up Trading, where we dive deep into the world of options trading, technical analysis, and getting paid in 2023. Today, we're going to be going over some great setups that we've had today, some options trades we took that wind up going into the 200% range on 0 DTEs, as well as a couple of setups we played with AMC. Tomorrow we have earnings taking place, so that's going to be a huge factor on which way the stock decides to move going forward. Also going to take a look at the support levels and resistance levels I could see playing either way, depending on how the AMC earnings take out. So enough of that. We're going to hop right into the details and dive right in. All right, now I got the 15-minute chart pulled up for AMC, and we're just taking a look here at the pattern that we're still playing out. We still are within that broadening wedge channel setup here that we've had on AMC since roughly about the beginning of 2023. We have played all sides of the broadening top pattern, which is off the bottom. The original lows that we've had were somewhere around the $3.80, $3.70 location, moved up, played the top end, bottom end, ran up at the last earnings report for the Q4, where we got halted right above this yellow line, which is actually the descending broadening wedge top. We were rejected and sent all the way back down to the depths, down into the $4 range. Obviously came up slightly thereafter with a little bounce, considering this to be a double bottom setup. But we then dropped once again after falling through to the smooth moving average, the 15-minute time frame, and coming down to retest the uptrend, which is the same uptrend that actually plays out ever since our $1.17 bottom that was established pre-January 21 squeeze. Got the retest. This served as a local spring, and now we are sitting on the last point of support where we stand now ready to break the descending broadening wedge top. Like I mentioned before, last time and every time we've broken that top, we've been halted hard and obviously been pushed down to the downside. Taking a look here, I'm going to go and zoom out a bit. Here is your March squeeze here. Halted. Here is your March 22 squeeze. I should say March 22 squeeze, where we were halted the first time, came all the way back down hard on a shooting star. Then we had our August squeeze, shot all the way back down, all the way to the lows that we saw recently after the decision on the split. Broke the top of the wedge one more time, the descending broadening wedge, which is that yellow line, shot back down all the way down to $3. And now we're ready to approach it for the fourth time. I'd love to see this thing push through the descending broadening wedge. Right now I have the top of that wedge sitting somewhere around $6.35, which I feel can possibly be the top if we do see another halt. Now, this is actually very interesting that we have the earnings report showing up in the morning as opposed to the nighttime one. I'm not so sure how that's going to play out. It's a very interesting situation, being that if there is some bullish news that comes through, it's a possibility for some sort of price discovery to take place throughout the day. Now, we did have calls. I played on this for $6. Wind up going at most about 85% today, as well as $10 calls I had for June 16th of 2023. Wound up taking those off of the table as well. I don't particularly like to play earnings on AMC. Obviously, there's a lot to expect from the moves, which can basically kill you on IV crush. But this one feels a little bit different. I can't say which way it's going to go. However, we can use TA to get an idea of which direction it can particularly go, simply because of where we are on the chart. I wanted to close today somewhere around the 595 to 596 mark, but they managed to close us underneath it right at 592, which is a pretty tough spot to be in. Now, if we are rejected, the smooth moving average I have is sitting here. This is the smooth moving average on the 6-hour chart. So a rejection from this spot could send us all the way back down to test the top of this larger falling wedge pattern that we have set up. You can see the green support line, red resist. We have not fully tested it since we've broken out in the last few days, and the rejection from this point can send us back down to go on retest, which would put us somewhere around the low fives very easily, somewhere closer to 530, and potentially riding it downward until we hit the uptrend back into the 480 before making another attempt to break the descending broadening wedge, which at that point be a lot further down, somewhere closer to about the $5 range. Now, this uptrend I'm talking about is this green line you see here, which plays since the lows of the stock roughly at about $1.17. This uptrend was tested at $3, retested at $3.70, then was retested, broken from the Allegheny news, and then we basically shot right back through, and this served as a spring in order to get us to this level that we are now. I consider this to be a spring We are our last points of support above this falling wedge. Volume is starting to play to the upside closely here. It looks like we want to break through, which allow us to break descending broadening wedge. If we were to break through the descending broadening wedge, I can see our top side being somewhere in the 740 range, which is this volume shelf here. We have a little bit of an air pocket if we can break the dollars. 635 would be my next level. $7.41 would be the level after that, which plays along with the 800, this very light gray line here, which is the 800 moving average on a 6-hour chart, or at least a touch here if we don't get halted. I think it might be a strategic thing why Adam Aaron decided to do the call in the morning. It allows for less of a opportunity for shorts to come in, or a lot less of an opportunity for halts to take place. So, and also is going to have the biggest idea for excitement, for the general market to actually have excitement towards the purchasing early on before a possible reversal. But typically, as I mentioned several times before, the stock likes to move down on earnings. So if I took my risk off the table, the majority, I kept a few runners just in case this thing decides to go nuclear tomorrow at the earnings call, and we can get obviously opportunity to run it. If it does go crazy, we do get a positive earnings. The way the setup is right now, very tight on the Bollinger Bands, we can possibly go a lot higher than within. I do still have areas up here playing off of this broadening top pattern. We have $9.81, $13, $11. If we can go and break those areas, if this thing really wants to get really froggy and we actually have a heavy beat of some sort, positive news or some sort of catalyst, this thing can take off because of just the way that the EMAs and things like that are set up. I'm going to go and take a broader look here on the daily chart. A lot of different confluences right now, and this is just such a wound up tight stock that it can really get crazy. There's going to be a lot of resistance to beat somewhere around that $6, between $6 and $7 mark. There's a ton of orders in place. This blue area represents all the sell orders in this location, which is right off of that wedge I mentioned earlier. And breaking that area is going to get us right to that next smooth moving average. If we can break 741, we're going to be put in position to get into the 861, which I believe would be the next level of possibility if we can get some bullish. So that's pretty much all or nothing. I mean, we're either going to go to $8.61 or we're going to go down to $4.80. Can we go lower? Anything's possible. Can we break that uptrend? It has broken before and served as a spring, but if we were to go through it, the lowest level I can see potentially, we still do have some space down there, another gap to fill in that area. We don't want to go that low, but it is possible that we can get down under towards the 350 mark. Let's go really negatively. So we'll see. Tomorrow is going to be a huge day. I'm going to be up for the call. Looking forward to this thing a lot. We've been in this thing for a while, but I really feel like the move is almost over and we could start making our way back up. But you can see orders are already up here at the all-time highs, ready to be sold off. I don't think all-time highs are going to happen just yet. I think we have a little bit more time for that to actually play out. Looking more towards something toward the end of the year, somewhere around October, but you never know. If we get the right kind of information, this thing can really start running just based upon where in the schematic as well as where it is EMA and SMA wise. It's looking really good. As far as the box office numbers, I'm hearing there's a little bit of softness that might have taken place in Q1 with a little bit of a loss. Hopefully that's not the end all be all, but we do have popcorn and things like that, popcorn sales. We can get an idea what that's looking like. The credit card as well, we can get an idea what that's looking like, hopefully from Adam Aaron tomorrow. And overall I'm bullish on this thing. I want to see this thing move up. Yeah, let's go. And moving on to the SPY. SPY has been in a complete sell-off ever since the negative, well, not really negative. I wouldn't call it negative. It just wasn't really clear on exactly what he wanted to see done. That we're talking about Jerome Powell's FOMC meeting yesterday. A lot of the questions and stuff like that wound up playing out a lot more loose. He wasn't able to give any specific answers, and that caused a lot of doubt in the markets. And we can see that played out very well. This head and shoulders that looks like it wanted to play out actually did wind up playing out yesterday. And we've been on a complete free fall all the way from 414 all the way down now to touching 403 this morning. Bounced up, still forming its H pattern on higher volume, which is the bearish setup. Did have a slight bounce and did come up and touch 407 early this morning. I actually was able to catch this move live on stream. We live streamed this whole thing today. First time run, great live stream. We're going to try and do this more often so we can get a couple more folks seeing what's happening with some of these plays that we take and make some income on these things. But we wound up trending down from that point on. We did make another attempt at it at 406. But formed a head and shoulders and looks like it wants to potentially press down. There is a lot of support down here for purchases to play the bottom end of this broadening top pattern that is actually also formed on SPY chart. So with this broadening top is basically we played multiple sides of it, and now we're looking to head back down. We'll play the bottom. Now, if this bottom end does not hold at about 403, 402, look to see that this gap gets filled at 401, 400. We're pretty much on the last point of supply here. if this does not hold true. Apple is supposed to be having its earnings today, so Apple can potentially hold the market up. Everyone knows Apple is to be a flight to safety, so we can expect if Apple does well, it's a chance. Apple doesn't do well, this thing is likely to drop to the ground. I'm expecting to play puts all the way down to 400, and then from there probably down to 395, where there's a gap sitting there waiting to be filled. It's been there for a couple of months and looks like it wants to get taken care of. So that's pretty much all I got for this here. We were able to catch the SPY move today. Was able to catch the 407 on 0 DTE calls to run all the way up to 407 this morning, and also caught a small move from the 405 mark all the way up to 404.90ish, all the way up to about 406. Those wound up being 141% at the end of the day. Very nice move, as well as the early morning move, which was a nice one as well, over 100% from the bottom, which was about 404, 405, and played that all the way up to about 407. So that was a very smooth entry and exit on both ends. Great percentages, about 100 and 141% on each one of those plays. So played those live. We did those live on live stream today, and good. So that's pretty much all I got today on the SPY as well as on AMC. Look, that's pretty much all I got for today. I appreciate you coming in, stopping, and spending time with us on the stream. If you were there earlier on, if not, check us out on the next stream. We're going to be there probably every day trying to get this money, make the outcome income for 2023. If you have any questions or comments that you'd like to address, go ahead and put them down in the comment box below, and I will go ahead and make sure I answer those as soon as possible. All right, so that pretty much wraps up the video, and I want to know what you guys think. Leave your comments and questions down in the comment box below. And of course, if that button is still red, go ahead and click like, subscribe. Join us on the way up. We're going to be here every single day, growing our portfolios together and making the outcome income for 2023. Don't forget, leave your comments, like, subscribe, and we're going to see you on the next video.